Well, good morning, or whatever time zone you're in right now. It's probably actually not even morning. It's probably afternoon, just about. So this morning, I decided to set an alarm and get up for my singing. Even though I knew there was a workman coming into the house, so I just trusted this morning that I would be finished before he arrived. Even though Loie said he was going to be coming, it would have been in the middle of the singing. So I just trusted that would be okay and it would sort itself out, or that I would just leave quietly from the group. So, however, our honoured leader had to just close it a little bit earlier, and she just closed it, and as she closed it, my doorbell went, and there was a guy, so it all worked out lovely. Gave me a chance to sing this morning, which I haven't done for about a week, 5 days, something like that. So it all worked out, and then I the last time the workman was there, I made him some breakfast. I made him just a couple of rolls with bacon, and then I made him up. All the motorbikers are out now, so I made him a couple of rolls for his lunch. So this morning, my two sons visited last night, and it was just so wonderful. My little granddaughter was there, and it was just such a perfect night with them all. And my granddaughter has things that she does when she comes to me, and my son said she thinks I'm mad, so that's great, isn't it? That's a good compliment for a granny, definitely. So she goes and she collects all what she calls the stones, which are crystals. So she collects all the crystals and she puts them in a row, and I have two Buddhas that stand, and they're holding little, dishes that would have been what they would have taken out, if they were asking for food. Although they didn't ask, they just took the bowls, and people put the rice in the bowls or whatever. So they're holding. I've got two of them, and they're holding the bowls. So I've got crystals in that as well. So she goes and she takes them out of there and puts them in a certain place and takes them somewhere else. So it's fascinating watching her. And yesterday I had moved some stuff around, so she said, that's my favourite colour. And I said, oh, what colour's that? And she said, it's pink. And I said, well, that's pink quartz. So she said, pink quartz. So she's 3, and she is smart as anything. So, we avoided the soup mainly. So she took 2 spoonfuls because I had stupidly put out a bowl of crisps as well. So we do all that dodging and diving. Did you see that big bee there? We do all that dodging and diving. So this morning anyway, I'm looking out my window, and there's hundreds of middies right in front of the window, and they were kind of distracting me from the view, because I suddenly thought, well, I don't think I've actually seen any midges this year. And so I kept watching them, because they were just flying in front of the window, or sitting there like a big mass. There was quite a lot of them. But what I found myself saying was, oh, midges, instead of oh, midges, you know, or they better not get me. So over the last week in particular, that full moon on Monday, I'm not an astrology person, so, you know, people say, oh, the full moon's in Cancer, or, well, it was actually Aquarius there, I found that out, but which is about water. But the moon was just incredible. So it usually affects me the night before, and I've kind of noticed this now. So I'm beginning to notice, is what I'm long-windedly trying to say, that I'm beginning to notice now, really notice things. And during the week I went for a long walk, and I did make a couple of wee videos, but I didn't post them, mainly because you wouldn't have been able to hear it. So maybe that's not a bad thing. I'll maybe still post them, because it was about the beauty, and it was about the beauty of mainly dandelions, which are now growing like really, really tall. And these ones that I took a video, in fact there's one right in front of me there which is about the same. They're growing like 6 feet tall. How strange. We used to run over them with the mower in the garden, because we hated them, and now I absolutely adore them. And I gathered a lot of them, and they were the last ones to go. And the only reason I think they all died was because I never filled it back up again with water. So I was seeing all this beauty on that walk, and it was a nearly 3-hour walk, really. And I felt so peaceful, and happy's not the right word, but really like content, and I felt that for quite a long time. But it was just this awareness of the real beauty in the world, and what a stunning world I live in right now. Believe it or believe it not. I know a lot of you will be laughing your socks off, especially the ones that look at my posts and go, I'm not reading that in case the baddies get me, as I used to do. So I was listening to Laurie Ladd this morning, but I think it's a couple of posts back actually, and she was just saying that you know, that we are still living on this level, this, you know, human level. She calls it 3D, but right, okay, so just like the way we all live kind of thing. But she was talking about how we all have to now raise one vibration, you know, and she was also saying that, you know, that it's almost like the 4D is like a bridge between the 3 and the 5, which was interesting. But she also said that we're flipping back and forward, you know, and I suppose that's because I can only speak for myself, but like, I know for me, see, people will say things like, you know, you can't haul people over the bridge with you. But you know what? I know in my heart that's true, but also I know that I can stand maybe at that other end of that bridge and put my hand out, and I think I'll just do that forever, because it's not that I don't want to leave people behind, but she says we're not leaving anybody behind. She says that everybody will get there, which is lovely, isn't it? She says everybody will get there, so, but we're just all wakening up at different speeds and at different times and for different reasons as well. So when I was doing the singing this morning, I was just looking out my window and looking at the water and thinking, this is like living in heaven. And there's just one wee tiny boat, like a wee sailing boat, like a wee one-man sailing boat thing. And it just went from one side right along as I was singing out the window. I stand at the window singing, and I just watched this wee one-man boat just very slowly and gently gliding along what looked like glass, because there was no wind, and it was the whole peacefulness of this boat just making its way slowly, surely along the river until it got to its destination, wherever that may have been. And I guess I've come to peace with the fact that that's what we're all doing. We're all one man in a boat, one woman in a boat, and we're just all floating towards our destination, you know. I was thinking this morning about how did I become kind of like a renegade, but a rebel, or whatever you might want to call that, right? Or just somebody that hated seeing other people being treated unfairly and horribly, and probably because that's the way I was treated when I was a wee girl by a teacher. That's where that kind of injustice started, I suppose. Well, it started long before that, but noticeable injustice started, you know, then by an outsider towards me. And I was just thinking this morning when I was standing looking out that window at the beauty that when did I first really become passionate? And it was when my mother handed me the book, The Ragged Trousered Philanthropist, if I've said that right, philanthropist. And I read that book. I could read books then. And I read that book and I just absolutely changed my whole way of thinking. All the selfishness went out the window, and I became a shop steward, actually. But then that became about me helping other people and not really looking at myself, or helping them for a selfish reason to feel better about myself. So we go through all these wee different stages, don't we, and in our whole life about learning about ourselves. And I hope you can hear the wee stream. We've got lots of them here, and they've all been belting down the hill and flooding places and stuff, you know, but they're all back to normal again. So whatever normal is, because they've got a new name for it now, they're calling it the new normal. So I was a good wee girl the other day, and I went to the hairdressers and I put my mask on and I kept it on. Apart from when I was taking it down to drink my Diet Coke. Yes, I did say Diet Coke. She's back on the Diet Coke. She's back on that Diet Coke. It's not helping. It's making me ill again. So that's the next plan, Stan, to get back off that again. And so it is. Have a great day, a great night, wherever you are, whatever. Make it work. Make it good. Bye for now.